everybody, it's Emily at ARG Schooling, and it is time to pick my May TBR. Let us see what the TBR jar has in store for me in May. Every month I pull a prompt from this jar to give me ideas for what to read this month based on what is already on my shelves. So I created, I don't even know how many, like 70 or 80 prompts based around different things that I owned already so that I would be forced every month to read at least something from my bookshelves. So let's see what I'll be reading this month. As always, I'm going to grab 2 prompts. So here's my first one. We dig a little bit here. Okay. So I have 2 prompts because I am a mood reader and I want to pick the thing I'm the most in the mood to read. So the first one is... Ooh, okay. The first one is portal fiction. I don't know. That's a definite maybe. Okay, hold on. I have to think. Let's see what the other one is. The second one is books inspired by classic literature, which I don't know. Oh, I might go with this one because this has a lot of things on it that I would like to read. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go with that. Let me put the portal fiction one back in the jar, and we're gonna go with books inspired by classic literature this month. So let me go collect my TBR, and I'll be right back. Okay, a TBR has been collected. Let's talk about it. But before I do, let's talk about the ARG Booked Book Club selection for the month of May. We are going to be reading Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys. I know a lot of you were excited about this book. This has been on my TBR for, I don't even know, a long time. This is set during World War II. It's set at sea. That's really all I know. Somehow I've never really read into the synopsis of this book. I just knew that I wanted to read it. Winter 1945, 4 refugees, 4 secrets. It's a forgotten tragedy that was 6 times deadlier than the Titanic. So I love that she writes about these little lesser known moments in history, because I always feel like I learn so much reading her books. So very excited to read this with all of you in May, and we will of course have our live show at the first Saturday in June to discuss. So I look forward to talking to all of you about Salt to the Sea. Of course, the first book I'm going to be reading this month is the April book, because I always like to read the book club book right before the live show, so it is the freshest in my mind so that I actually can remember and discuss. So I'll be reading Theatre of Marvels by Leanne Dillsworth this week so I can talk about it with you guys this coming Saturday. So this is a story set during Victorian London, and it's about a biracial woman who has worked her way out of the slums to become a star on the stage, and I think there's going to be some kind of a missing person / maybe a murder that she's trying to figure out what happened to them. And she's going to get pulled into this underbelly of London society. And I just think this sounds like such a good book. I cannot wait to read it. I'm very excited to talk to you guys about it this weekend. Then I have some library books I really do need to get to. I borrowed these a week ago, more than a week ago, and they're going to be due back soon. So I'm going to try to get to all of them, but we'll see what happens. I have Daphne by Josh Mallerman. I think this is like a slasher story, I think. I don't know, I kind of grabbed it on a whim because I've been wanting to read more Josh Mallerman, but he is so hit or miss for me, and I really want this to be a hit, and I feel like a slasher would be the thing that would maybe be good. So I don't really know too much about it. I think it's like a woman stalking a high school basketball team in a reimagining of the slasher genre. So that is all I know. I got You Dreamed of Empires. This is by Alvaro Enrique, and this one just sounded really unique in that it is a like alternate history where when the conquistadors come to when Hernan Cortez enters Tenochtitlan, today's Mexico City, he'll meet the Emperor Moctezuma, but in this story the Aztecs win. And so you get to see like what that would have looked like, which I think sounds really fascinating, and I really hope I can make this happen this month, like before it's due back. And then I grabbed Last Summer at the Golden Hotel by Alyssa Friedland, which is, I think, a historical fiction. I think this is set in the heyday of like the, like Dirty Dancing, when they're at that like vacation place, I don't know what you call it, vacation resort in the Catskills, when that was like a big thing. That's when this is set. And so we're following people who are vacationing in the Catskills and like the drama of their lives and how they intertwine and all of that. Sounded like something I would enjoy. So I'm hoping to get to this soon. And then before I get into my TBR selection, let me just go through a few other books that I'm reading this month. I'm currently reading Says Who, which is a kinder, funner usage guide for everyone who cares about words by Anne Curzan. I'm reading this for level 11, and it's really interesting. Like, I wanted to see if there were any newer books about the history of the English language, because that's part of the level 11 curriculum. That's the elective. You're studying the history of the English language, and I knew I wanted to look at the books for that and see if I wanted to update anything. And I'm reading this right now to replace Eats, Shoots, and Leaves, which is fine, but I just wanted to see if I liked this better, and I think I do. So I think this is going to be replacing that in the level. And I'm only a couple chapters in, but it's like really good so far. This is like her looking at language and how language changes over time, and why we shouldn't be grammar snobs, because grammar, like language, evolves. So it's really interesting, and I'm hoping to put this in the level, and I'll tell you more about it once I finished it. Then I also really wanted to read Impossible Escape by Steve Schenken. I've had this since it came. I think I pre-ordered this, and I've been really excited to read it. This is a true story of survival and heroism in Nazi Europe. This is about the two men who managed to escape Auschwitz so that they could warn everyone about what was happening. And so I definitely want to try to make this work in level 11 because it's Steve Schenken. I know it's going to be amazing. So I'm really excited about that. And then I'm also hoping to get to Forbidden City by Vanessa Hua. I don't know yet what I'm doing with this. This might be in level 11 or not. I can't decide yet if I'm changing any of the later books in the level, because I'm pretty happy with all of those, but I wanted to get to this. If this doesn't go in level 11, I might have something else in mind for it, but I will definitely be making this happen this month. And this is a book about a teenage girl living in 1960s China and her experiences becoming Mao Zedong's protege, and then her like realizing what's actually happening. And it just sounds like a really great book. This is a time period that I'm always interested in reading more about, China's Cultural Revolution and like how that plays out. And especially a story like this where we're following a character who is really deep into the Cultural Revolution, like buying into it, like believing everything she's being told, and then having somebody like flip the switch in her head so she can see what's really happening. Like, that just sounds like a really great read, so I'm excited about that. Okay, so my theme, my TBR card is books inspired by classical literature. I have a lot of those. I picked too many. I don't think these are all going to happen, but I'm hoping some of them do. So the reason I was excited for this is because I just bought a book that just came out that is based on classical literature that I really wanted to read, and that is James by Percival Everett. This is a retelling of the adventures of Huckleberry Finn from Jim's perspective. And so you're getting his story and his perspective on all the things that happen in the book. And I love Huck Finn. It's like one of my absolute favorite classics. So I've been very excited about this ever since I heard about it coming out. So I have it now, and I definitely want to read this like as soon as humanly possible. So I feel like this is definitely going to happen. Then I have a lot of maybes. I don't know what of the stack I'm going to get to, but I have What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. This is a retelling of The Fall of the House of Usher by Edgar Allan Poe. T. Kingfisher has really been hit or miss for me, mostly miss, honestly, but all of their books sound amazing. So like I keep buying them, but I don't know if I'm going to like it. But this has potential. I do love Edgar Allan Poe, and I feel like this could be a win. So I'm hoping, and it's short. I feel like this has potential just because it's short, and I'll be able to make that happen. This is another one I definitely want to make happen because I really want to read it, and that is So Many Beginnings by Bethany C. Morrow. This is a Little Women remix. I have loved the remix series so much. There have been so many great ones, and I love Little Women. So I feel like this is going to definitely be a win for me. Like, a Little Women retelling is definitely something up my alley. That's one of my favorite classics. So this one I've had on my shelves for a while. This was actually also one of my 24 books I wanted to read in 2024, so I really ought to make it happen. So as far as I know, this is basically the same idea as Little Women, except we're following a Black family and their perspective on what's happening during this time period. So very excited about that. I have Enter the Body by Joy McCullough. This is a novel in verse, and it is a book that's giving voice to several of the female characters in Shakespeare. So not exactly a retelling, but it's inspired by Shakespeare, so it counts. So I think we're following Juliet, Ophelia, and Cordelia. So characters from Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, and King Lear. So I've been really excited about I've had this for a while. When did this come out? Is this a newer? Yeah, this came out last year, and I pre-ordered it because I thought it sounded great. So I'm hoping I can make that happen. And then another one that's just been sitting on my shelves, and I'm like, why haven't I gotten to this yet, is Pride and Premeditation by Tirzah Price. This is a retelling of Pride and Prejudice, but I think it's like a murder mystery. And I honestly, this was a title and cover purchase because this book is just so pretty. And I thought the title was really fun. It says Pride and Prejudice gets a murder mystery makeover in this new series based on Jane Austen's most beloved books. I know there's a second one out based on Sense and Sensibility, I think. I don't know if there's any more other than that, but I don't own it yet because I wouldn't let myself buy it until I read this. So I'm going to hopefully get to it. I don't know. That's it though. That's all the things. Editing future Emily. I realized I did not pick one of my 12 recommendations from 12 friends for this month when I did my video. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to go ahead and pull from here. I asked you guys for recommendations at the beginning of the year, and I got 12 recommendations in here. I've read 4 of them. So let me go ahead and pick and see what I'll be reading this month. I have... Ooh, okay, hold on. I own this one, but I don't know if I wanted to read that right now, but I guess I'll go with that. I have picked The Ogress and the Orphans for my May selection. I should have written on these who recommended what, because now I have no idea. So if you recommended this to me, thank you. This is by Kelly Barnhill. It is middle grade, so it feels like it's doable. This is such a crazy month, so a middle grade would probably be for the best. Thank you for this recommendation, and I'll be adding it to my TBR this month. This is all the things that I would like to read in May. Will I? I don't know. We've got a lot going on this month. I have relatives coming into town, a graduation, a lot of chaotic things going on. I don't know how much of this I'm actually going to get to, but as much of it as I can. So let me know what you plan on reading in the month of May. I'd love to hear about it. And if you read anything in this stack and you think I really absolutely should prioritize it, you let me know in the comments and we can chat about it. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Happy reading. Bye.